What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have something else. A thought that popped into my mind, and I just feel like I just make a video about it, which is, I'm sure which is what everybody's going through. But you think about this, my bad, so 20, social media has convinced an entire generation, myself included, when I started that, you know, being able to make 10 hour, 5, 10 hour, 20 hour before breakfast or every other week is very possible. And so you begin to pursue that high and you decide that the best way to accomplish that is by giving yourself that small tight stop loss, 2 pips, 3 pips, 5 pips, 10 pips, or points, whichever one it is, to be able to catch that 10 hour, 20 hour. I know I fell for that stupidity for the longest of time. I'll give you a good story, which is just, and that was the story that popped into my head that made me want to make this video. So back there when I started, there was this chap I used to watch his video. So he predominantly traded gold, and obviously everybody he had been in one of his YouTube podcasts, whatever it is, a few of them, and according to the guy, people recommended him, blah blah blah. So, he used to be like with the system he was teaching that you need 30 pip stop loss on gold. This is gold. 30 pip stop loss. You don't need more than 30 pip stop loss. I was like, I studied the guys, the material, the system looked good. Again, novice. I didn't know what looked good and what was realistic. I didn't ever understand what the system was. He spilled all the jargon that he spilled, and I bought that rubbish. So obviously went into practice. I did a few. I put on a few trades, depending on I went in 30 pips. I didn't even blink. I was like up 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Yes, this is the system. But then the losses came. The losses came, and obviously new trader. My expectation was high up there, and then when the losses came, it was just murdered me so bad. It just destroyed me so bad. So obviously, I kind of stopped worrying stopped um, consuming his content. I realized something was wrong with what was going on. But the system worked. Don't get me wrong, the system worked. But something was wrong. I just didn't figure out what was wrong. So fast forward to about 1.5 years later, I popped into another different video. It was the same guy now talking about the different trading system. But now there was no 30 pip stop loss. I was looking at his stuff. It was like 80 pip to 100 pip stop loss, sometimes 150 pip stop loss. I was like, this asshole, this stupid motherfucker. Oh my bad. This stupid asshole. After suffering so long with your 30 pip bullshit, having a nervous breakdown with your 30 pip rubbish, you're coming out here selling another shit, rubbish, selling another crap. 100 pips, 150 pips, stop loss. Why didn't you excuse me. Why didn't you do that in the first video? Because I bet the system worked. If all I had to do was put the stop loss where it was supposed to be, So that rigmaroling and dancing around probably cost me 6 to 8 months of valuable time. Realizing to myself that maybe the system didn't work. Obviously, novice trader, if I had already got, because I probably, if I'm not mistaken, I probably got maybe three good take profits from it. And then maybe I'm not exaggerating. If I'm exaggerating, I might be exaggerating, but at least 20 straight losses. So again, as a new trader, you know what 20 straight losses can do to you. Can do to you. You know what 20 straight losses can do to you, drive you crazy. So you've gone from a high of high hours. I mean, like high hours. I think the first trade I took easily was, I think, I closed at 5 hours if I wasn't mistaken, but that trade ended up running in a run. It ran for a long time. It ran maybe for 20, 30 hours. I kept on beating myself up like, damn, I should have taken more of this, should have taken more of that once. Yeah. So that was uh that was my basically my introduction into stop to very tight stop losses and how it destroyed me. And I realized that there's so many of us in that boat right now. We're trying to catch that 20 hour, 50 hour, sorry, 50 hours. I saw a video of somebody who said he made 50 hour, but the 20-hour trades, the 10-hour trades, and we're trying to do it consistently, which is almost because we're trying to post the blue screens for the social media to make it look like you're winning, but in the back, you've probably taken five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 losses, and then you've gotten that one win. Maybe that's what your system allows you to do, and that's fine if your system allows you to do that. But like for the newbie who doesn't have a system, and every loss is like a nail to the heart. It's not good. It's not good. Because if you Google what a stop loss is, I think I'll try and put a screenshot of uh, what a stop loss is by definition. A stop loss is like a clear invalidation of the trade idea. If it's not good, it's not good. A stop loss should be below structure, below liquidity, uh, um, um, above structure, above liquidity, below asset structure. Yeah, stuff like that, where a price goes into that direction, even by 1 pip or 2 pips, the likelihood that the trade idea is bad is very high up there. And that's why I used to do the 15-minute. I used to do it. I used to. I'm not saying again it might work, but like I've remembered a few times when I've had a 4 hour zone and then I've gone to the 15 minutes to kind of like wait for the bounce around, and price bounces around, but then takes me out a few times. But then you realize that the 4 hour zone is still very much intact. It hasn't even the trade idea has not fully been invalidated. But then on the 15-minute time frame, you are on the 5 minute time frame, it's taking you out like five, six, seven times. Your ego and your account has taken a stabbing, and the move ends up happening. Maybe not immediately, a few hours later, maybe the next day, and you're just there. You're either your psychology is out, is in the wind, or your account is gone, and that's it for you. You're not in the move. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not saying that those who do. I'm not saying that having a very very tight stop loss is not impossible to do. No, what I'm saying is having a realistic stop loss. If it takes 10, 15 pip for price, takes a 10, 15 pip range or tick range or point range for price to dance around before it goes your direction or takes you out. Why are you putting your stop loss at 5 pips, 3 pips, 4 pips? What's the point? For you to get so that it's almost like you have an 8 ball you're controlling, that it's going to come right down to this number and then turn around. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give it 6 pips, 7 pips, 10 points. Why are you doing that? Why are you not giving it the right room for it to breathe? Because it pulls back and it breathes in and it breathes out. It pulls back and it expands. Why are we not giving it that? I'm just saying that because I made that mistake, and I'm at the point where I'm now giving. I used to have a static stop loss, that stupid 30 pip rubbish. And then I went up to 50 pip, but now I'm not doing that discretionary. Now this is I try my best to cover a whole zone. This is the point. If price goes beyond this, obviously sometimes price goes beyond that and comes back into the range. It takes it out, comes back into the range. These are all contingencies you are prepared for. But I give it the appropriate I put the stop loss at the appropriate place. If the distance to the reward is at least minimum 1 to 2 hours, I will take it. If it's not under that, I'll take 1.8, 1 to 1.8, I'll take it. If it's not 1 to 2 hours, I will not take it. I've had the pleasure to sit down and have a chit chat with somebody who was it's not on social media, he's not on any of that, but like he's been doing this for a while and he's extremely profitable. And that chap was able to let me know that he doesn't push you more than 3 hours, and for him 3 hours is too much. His max is always 1 to 2, 1 to 1 point, between 1 to 1.8 and 1 to 2.5. He doesn't pursue that much. He explained the amount of money he's putting on the line. He doesn't need that much. He doesn't need a 10 hour. It is unrealistic. So he focuses on the 1 to 2 hour. He said he has around a 40% win rate, but he has a 1 to 2 hour, a 2 hour profit expectation. And you do the math on it. His lifestyle just says it. He's living good. He's living good. So it had me thinking, what is the point of losing 10 trades only for you to get one to 10, and then you go through the same cycle again of lose, lose, lose. So by the time the month is done, you probably will be ended up with like a 2 hour, 3 hour, depending on how active you are, a 2 hour, 3 hour month. Whereas the person who's taking 4 consistent trades at 1 to 2 weeks to reward, maybe took 4 trades, that's a total of 8 hours he would have made, and then ended up losing two. So which is he lost two. So he made 6 hours in that month without breaking his head, following a plan, following a system. Now that is something that I can come behind. That's something that is is stomachable. But having to take one big one, 1 to 10 hour, 1 to 15 hour, and then you start losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. That's how you overtrade. That's how you blow your account. That's how you lose. That's how you're not able to keep the capital you already accumulated from the market. So the the gentleman I had the pleasure of talking to, he said when he is getting ready to go into a trade, he asks himself a few things. Number one is if it's the trade valid, is the setup valid, which means does it meet all the criteria. To how much risk am I willing to put on this? Is the risk acceptable? Is it too much? Am I leaving myself open, just the risk exposure too much? If that's too much, then he considers sizing down. Does the reward justify the risk? Am I getting the standard 1 to 2 hour, or is this like 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.5? If this is that, then I'm not interested. So this is a professional. This is somebody who is asking you. These are asking realistic questions. These are things that can happen. But a beginner thinking about me back in the day, you're thinking about, this should be able to run 15 hours. You're not worried about the downside. Well, it looks like I might lose if it doesn't go 15 hours. I might be down if you 1 hour or 2 hours. So you don't accept that reality, and then you blow up. You overtrade, and then you lose all your money because somebody on YouTube told you 30 pips was good enough. With 30 pips, you should be able to capture 300 points, 400 points, and all of that rubbish. Yeah. So, in wrapping this video up, just just be true to yourself. Just be true to yourself. Just be true. Whoever watching the video, just be true to yourself. Do what is realistic. And if the stop loss, if the zone is 100 pips, give it 100 pips. If it's 50 pips, give it 50 pips. If it's 200 pips, give it 200 pips. And then try your best to catch the try your best to hold your trade and watch it go all the way, or it takes you out. Don't try to do stuff for social media, or don't just allow greed. This, like, it just taps into the greed factor. Don't allow that greed, that idea of wanting 15 hour, even though your funded account or your live account is in a few percent drawdown. It took you a few trades to get to that point. So it should only take you a few trades to climb back to a flat line. People don't get rich People get rich from hundreds of well executed trades. That's the most important thing. People get rich from hundreds of well executed trades, not one or two good trades that gave you 15 hours, from a series of good pure trades that were professionally executed and you watch your edge play out. So, thank you for watching this, my little rants, and subscribe, like. Yeah, please subscribe. Thanks. Peace.